Let's take a look at another Houdini example. So this time we're going to take some FBXs and run a QuickTime sort of preview on them. So we have some nice little preview movies to go and thumbnails to go with our animation data. So on the desktop, I've just downloaded a bunch of FBXs. I got these from Mixamo. I'll put the link in the docs. But we've got all sorts here. So we've got some stabbing, some sitting, some cheering, a bit of basketball dribbling, all sorts of good stuff. Cool. So back in Houdini, go to Window, Source Editor, and I've got this chunk in here. Again, I'll obviously leave all this stuff in the docs as well. So this time, we got a function called capture FBX, and actually the easiest way to show you what it's going to do, and then we'll walk through it, is just to run it. So we need to do capture FBX, and I need to put in a path to one of those FBXs as a demo, and a camera distance, and we're also just going to block off for this one because this is what actually renders it at the end. Cool, so run that. And you will see what this has done has made a camera and imported an FBX to our scene, and it's constrained the camera to the FBX essentially. So if we have a look through here and we play, there's our guy. Very cool stuff. So let's just take a quick look at the script. So basically we import with that who.hit file. Instead of load, we do an import FBX, and we just give it the FBX. Then we want to hide the bones on this guy, otherwise you have the skeleton in the preview video. Then we get the main joint. This is usually your hips or your root joint essentially. Then if it does find a hip joint, happy days, assign it, and then we're going to create a camera. So we just get the position of the hip joint first. Then we do who.node to create a camera. Then we basically create some expressions to constrain the camera to the hip positions. Once we've got our camera stuck on there, we create an OpenGL node. So OpenGL is basically like in Maya, it's like a PlayBlast, or there's also a flipbook, but OpenGL is just a nicer or GL viewport viewer essentially in Houdini, and we can use this to basically write out preview image sequences as opposed to for renders. So we make a node, and that's actually out in the out context. Over here, cool. And here you've got your parameters like your camera and your scene and where we want to write it to and this sort of stuff. And basically if you hit render, that would then go off and kick off an image sequence, which is what we set up here. So we do OpenGL to create it, set the frame range just to the first and last frame in Houdini. You can get the frame range of who.playbar.playback range. Yeah, then we're setting things like a comment and this sort of stuff in here. The resolution we want the output video into. Cool. Then we're going to get FBX, and we're basically just going to write it out into the same folder that the FBX is stored in, and we'll just replace it with this JPEG sequence. A bit of anti-aliasing and shading mode to 0. And then basically if we got rid of this, this would then go off and run it. So this is basically what we're going to wrap up in the next lesson.